Hey everyone, welcome back to Dinar Scope, your trusted source for the latest updates, real insights, and unfolding developments around the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnamese Dong, and the long-anticipated exchange event. Something very unusual is happening right now, and it's capturing the attention of everyone who's been waiting, watching, and hoping for years. Across private circles and quiet financial networks, whispers are spreading fast. Talk is building that the first wave of exchanges may have finally begun. Yes, you heard that right. Early reports suggest that a controlled rollout, involving both the Iraqi Dinar IQD and Vietnamese Dong VND, is taking place in select locations. These aren't just loose rumors anymore. They're consistent accounts from individuals claiming they've been invited, approved, or even contacted directly. Could this finally be the start of what so many have been preparing for? Let's dig into what's being said, what might really be unfolding behind the scenes, and why this moment could mark a historic shift for currency holders across the globe. For months now, speculation about the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong has filled forums, chats, and private groups. But lately, the tone has noticeably changed. It's no longer about if or when exchanges might happen. The conversation has shifted toward who is being given access and how. Reports suggest that small, carefully selected groups have been quietly contacted and given early access to exchange appointments. These alleged appointments are said to come with strict confidentiality rules, possibly even NDAs, outlining exactly what to bring, how to act, and what not to say afterward. That level of organization doesn't sound random. It sounds deliberate. Now here's where things get even more interesting. The people involved in these early exchanges reportedly weren't chosen at random. Many accounts suggest they were pre-approved, personally invited, referred through trusted financial networks or private groups. This isn't a public event, it's a controlled rollout. Think of it as a soft launch before the big release. The idea seems to be testing systems, verifying documents, and gathering data before opening wider access. If true, that changes everything. It implies we might be witnessing the early stages of a structured process, one designed to begin quietly and then expand once. Everything is proven secure and stable. Many within the Dinar and Dong community are now calling this a limited exchange rollout, a small, private testing phase guided step by what seems to be a coordinated system. The individuals involved are reportedly following clear instructions, and everything is being monitored closely. And that makes sense after all. When we're talking about potential life-changing financial events, a measured rollout prevents chaos. Flooding banks and systems with thousands of people all at once would create confusion and volatility. A controlled pace keeps things stable, safe, and manageable. But what's really fueling excitement right now isn't just the reports of movement. It's the numbers being whispered. Some participants in these alleged exchanges claim to have seen unexpectedly high rates. For the Iraqi dinar, amounts above $3 per note have been mentioned. For the Vietnamese dong, rates higher than anyone anticipated are being discussed. Of course, none of this has been officially confirmed, and no one should treat online talk as verified proof. Still, when multiple independent discussions mention similar numbers, people start paying attention. Could these private exchanges be offering negotiated or contract rates tied to a larger global financial event? That's the big question everyone's asking. If that's the case, a tiered or phased rollout would make sense. Historically, major currency reforms or reevaluations start with controlled groups, government-linked entities, institutional investors, or pre-screened individuals before expanding to the wider public. It's a way to maintain order, prevent speculation-driven chaos, and ensure systems perform as expected. The same pattern might be unfolding here. Start small, learn fast, then expand gradually. For those who haven't received any call or contact, there's no reason to panic. Many insiders have long believed that the initial rollout would be limited, a trial phase to confirm logistics and verify everything before a broader opening. Think of it like the first passengers boarding a plane while the rest of us wait at the gate. Just because you're not on the first flight doesn't mean the journey isn't happening. The fact that there's movement at all means the line is finally advancing. That's something to celebrate. So what does this mean for everyone still waiting? Preparation. If these early exchanges are truly underway, the next phase could open without much notice. That means having everything ready now: your identification, receipts, purchase proofs, and currency records. These details might seem small, but when the window opens, they'll make all the difference. Those who are ready will move forward without hesitation. Remember, opportunities rarely wait for those who hesitate. Still, where there's excitement, there's also risk. Scammers often appear whenever major financial buzz hits. It's important to stay alert. Nobody can sell you faster access. And no legitimate exchange will ever ask you to send in your currency ahead of time. Protect your information, stay skeptical, and stick with official communications. The closer we get, the more critical it becomes to guard yourself against false promises and emotional decisions. Now let's talk rates for a moment, because understanding what's possible is key. A fixed rate is when a currency is pegged to another. It's like setting one IQD to equal a certain amount of USD. A floating rate changes daily based on global market conditions. If these early exchanges are happening at preset or contract-based rates, that could mean authorities are testing how those values perform in real-world conditions. Another reason to view this moment as potentially historic. To put it in perspective, think of the global foreign exchange market. Trillions of dollars traded every single day. When a new or revalued currency enters that system, its first public exchange rates shape how it's viewed worldwide. If private exchanges are already happening, even in small numbers, they might be part of a calibration process, testing rate stability, liquidity, and international compatibility behind the scenes. Meanwhile, subtle signs are emerging from regional banking circles, quiet meetings, internal memos, procedural updates, and even training sessions. While nothing official has been released, these behind-the-scenes actions line up with what a pre-launch phase would look like. And with global markets finally stabilizing, oil prices up, and regional partnerships strengthening, the timing feels far from random. If this limited exchange truly is underway, many analysts believe transparency will follow. Once the first group completes their process successfully, more participants, perhaps additional private groups or wealth managers, could be invited next. From there, it might expand further into structured public phases. Each completed stage would validate the process and build confidence globally. This is why staying grounded right now is so important. The first wave may be small, but it's meaningful. It sets the tone for everything to come. For long-term holders who've endured years of speculation and frustration, this moment feels different. Not because of hype, but because there's consistent movement and credible chatter from multiple directions. Something real seems to be shifting, even if we can't see the full picture yet. Remember, real change often begins quietly. The biggest financial transitions rarely start with headlines. They begin with silent coordination, private meetings, test runs, and confidential approvals. Whether you've held Dinar or Dong for a decade or just recently joined this journey, now's the time to stay calm, organized, and alert. Many believe that after so many years of waiting, patience may finally start paying off. The global financial landscape itself is changing. Nations moving toward asset-backed systems, digital currency testing, and new monetary alignments. Iraq's economy is stabilizing, backed by oil and growing international partnerships. Vietnam's growth and exports continue to impress analysts worldwide. Together, these realities make the possibility of revaluation more grounded than ever before. Economists also point to the real, effective exchange rate, the REERA, key metric central banks use to measure a currency's adjusted true value. If Iraq's central bank is aligning its currency toward that target, it would explain the slow, structured rollout we're seeing. Quietly testing liquidity, verifying systems, and preparing for full market stability before going public fits perfectly into that strategy. On Vietnam's side, the story's similar. The Dong continues to strengthen with steady exports and manufacturing dominance. Many believe that if Iraq takes this step, Vietnam could follow, possibly through its own managed rollout or partnership arrangement. That's why both currencies are often mentioned together in these discussions. So what happens next? If the current wave proceeds smoothly, more private groups may follow then, potentially, wider access. When your time comes, you'll want to be ready. Documents in hand, information organized, mindset.com. Those who are prepared will move forward confidently when their notice arrives, as of now. In 2025, the signs point toward something genuine stirring beneath the surface. Whether you're a seasoned believer or a cautious observer, one thing's becoming clear. The line appears to be moving, quietly, selectively, but undeniably forward. So stay informed, stay saint.